Okay, so what's your opinion / experience with injections?
Well, I'm a nurse, so I give injections all the time. I think patients get quite anxious before you give the injection, so a lot of explanation on why you're giving the injection, how you're going to give the injection, and obviously tell them it's going to hurt a bit. So give them a warning before you give it.
So how often do you use injections in your line of work, like on a day-to-day basis?
Well, I'm a nurse, so I work only the weekends, so I'd give pretty much an injection on every shift. I'd have to give an injection.
What do you associate with anticipation?
What do you mean by anticipation?
Like the build-up towards a needle or the whole experience and the steps?
Oh, so as I said before, patients do get quite anxious and scared, and you'll see some people get sweaty palms, you know, they'll start sweating on their face. You're going to make sure they don't go pale or they might actually faint. You have to make sure that they're seated. With children, it's a lot of explaining and obviously getting the parents to help at the same time.
What do you do to make your patients have a positive experience with injections?
When I usually give injections, I explain everything that comes with the injection, where I'm going to put the injection, how it's going to go in, if it's going to hurt. Some different medications hurt more than others, so you need to give your patient a warning before you actually do give the injection. And the injection goes on different parts of the body as well.
Do you see any problems with the design steps of injections? It's like step by step, doing any flaws in that whole method of an injection?
With nursing, where they're quite precise in how they give injections. At the moment, I know that there is numbing cream for children when you do give injections, but that's the only incentive. There's no other incentives for kids or other adults that might be petrified of injections.
So, seeing my design, as you had last week,
yes,
and how it worked, what improvements could be made to this design? So it can be shape, process, function, idea.
It's actually quite nice and colourful for children, and which is a positive. And the stamp is really good, but maybe we could make a theme stamp that they might actually like. I know that my boys are into Fortnite. When they were younger, they liked Thomas and Lightning McQueen. Maybe you can make a theme stamp for different children and change it, you know, what they like. Maybe ask the parents. That's about it.
What do you, like, if this design became real in reality and like doctors actually could use this, what would you see in it? Like a future?
I could actually see a future in it, because there is no incentives when you give an injection to a child. They just get the pain and the mark and that's it. This is actually quite good. At least they'll get a design that they like.
Okay. Yeah, that's it. What's your opinion / experience with needles and injections?
I've only taken blood tests before and what I call the school injections, and I hate them.
Why do you hate them?
Just the idea of a needle being in me freaks me out.
What do you associate with anticipation?
Anticipation, well, I do psychology, so anticipation just reminds me of like anxiety, because you anticipate the fear, and that's what causes anxiety.
And what do you feel from this?
From the needles?
Both.
Okay.
The anticipation, but then the needle as well. What do you feel from this?
Okay, well, when I get blood tests done, I do anticipate the fear of having a needle in me, and I do tend to tense up and stuff. It's pretty scary for me.
What might help you through this experience, like ways to relieve or make you feel good about the anticipation of a needle?
Breathing.
Breathing?
Yeah, that tends to help. And not looking at it.
Yeah. Well, this is a device for kids. What would you think that would help a kid anticipate the needle with a positive attitude compared to a negative one?
Maybe if you gave them a lolly or a toy before,
So a reward system.
yeah, but beforehand, so then they can associate
Yeah.
the needle with something good.
Okay, now I'm going to give you the device I made up. You just use it, see what it does, and then I'll ask you some more questions.
Okay.
So like you can pull bits and pieces, like the bits that aren't meant to be pulled are glued. so
That doesn't twist. I definitely twist. I like this. Is that not meant to do that?
none of that part.
Cool.
You even stamp yourself if you really want.
So I can stamp myself. That'd be great.
Okay. Now that you've experienced that,
Mhm.
if you were to receive an injection, would your anticipation receiving a stamp amount to anything?
Yeah, I'd appreciate it.
So like, yeah, if you had that and the doctor came with a stamp and the needle was hidden with it, would you have what like your experience would be and what thoughts you'd have on it?
Well, I'd still be scared of the needle, but I like stamps, so maybe it would help a bit.
We've seen the device and it's more related, because it's much just saying to the video, seeing the device and how it's related to stamps and it's more influenced towards a kid's aspect and design. What problems could you see occurring from this in the fields of like giving it to the child or disposing it or like hygienic or anything like that I could improve on?
Maybe something to clean the stamp, because some kids are really gross and might sneeze on their hands or something. It might go on. Some kids might still be scared of seeing the needle, so maybe it feels a little bit hidden in some way. So like kind of like inside something bigger. And disposing, pretty much just general practice of getting rid of the needles or sterilising it, however they do it. Doctors.
Okay. What memories do you have of getting stamps? Like earliest memory and like feelings and experience.
Well, I used to get my mum to buy me some stamps when I was really little because they were fun. And I used to like putting on papers and myself.
Yeah.
And also at kinder and probably early primary school, you get stamps on your work.
What do you see from this device in the future? Like, what are the expectations that could come from it or the development?
Are the colours going to be the same?
No, I can change them.
I was going to say, because the colours might be nice if a kid sees something colourful. But we're like, oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Maybe I shouldn't be too scared.
Yeah.
Or maybe different types of stamps. You can ask the kid what sort of stamp they want.
Yeah. If you were to go back into the future and be a kid yourself again, and your parents brought you to this, how would your reaction be? So you've got to do a little role play sort of. So if your parents have just brought you in for your injection, but I haven't told you it's an injection, and you've gone there to the doctors, and the doctor say has a few of these, and you can see the stamps and what they represent. And if he came over and said, okay, you're getting an injection, how would you feel before that injection? Like, just act the way you would feel in the whole situation.
Seeing the stamp first, I'd probably think, oh, it's just a stamp fit.
Yeah.
And if the doctor says it's an injection, maybe as a little kid you think the stamp is part of it.
Yeah.
So
you'd
be like, oh,
just
stamp.
hold your arm out, like, so like your whole experience, like, because you don't feel it now, like, and then, and then ouch.
I reckon it'd be a bit of a surprise.
A surprise.
Yeah.
If I was to say, would it be better that the kid took the stamp home as a reward in the end, or the fact that the doctor just had a set of stamps that he could just interchange with syringes because they're disposable?
Yeah.
And then you come in for it. Which one would you see would be a more positive light?
It'd be nice to take a stamp home, I reckon, but yeah, if you're talking about kind of supply, I don't think they'll have enough to do that. So maybe the fact that they just have a stamp might be enough.
What about if I could say the whole thing was the syringe, there wasn't one hidden in it, and the stamp came with the device? Like, was the syringe instead of a device holding the syringe. What about then?
It's like without the needle in it.
Yeah.
Well, that'd definitely be better. Like,